Let's go to the closing case checklist. The case is over, and there's still a few little steps to do to close your case. And this can be neglected sometimes because we get busy on the next case. So this is a good way to remind you to do those last things. And my policy in my office is I like to have the case closed within 1 month of when the case ended. And that's a good practice for a lot of reasons. And I'm going to kind of take you through those. And on your checklist here, we're in the master template now, but you can pull this into the individual case and then you can edit it, because not everything on the list will apply to every case. It's going to depend on the nature of the case. So for example, there's several things that would apply in a divorce only because it's property related, exchanging property or transferring it, that wouldn't apply in a modification. So you can go through and edit it to your particular case. We are now scanning everything, scanning, and you probably are too. It's a good way to store things. So we have a reminder here to scan the final order into the file. Because that last order, my staff scans everything as it comes in, but that's the last document. So I want to make sure that the last document, which is often the most important, ends up in the file. Then enter the quadro with the court. So as you probably know, if you do family law, quadros, qualified domestic relations orders, sometimes tag a little behind the decree. Ideally, we enter them with the decree, but it does not always happen that way. So if you want to make sure, if that has not been entered at the time the decree is entered, that it is entered with the court. And that needs to happen within 30 days of the entry of the decree of divorce. The court has technically lost jurisdiction after that time. Now, I have seen courts enter them anyway, but you really would not want to count on that because it's not proper and it could be set aside. So if you didn't get your quadro entered at the time of the divorce, you need to get it entered within 30 days. So this is a reminder for that. And then you need to send the quadro to the plan. So the plan administrator is not informed that that has been signed by the judge unless someone sends it to them. The court will not send it to them. So the plan administrator needs to have that document in order to divide the quadro pursuant to the order. Now, if they had real estate, then you probably did a special warranty deed or a deed of trust to secure assumption. And if we're going to be filing that on behalf of the client, then we need to make sure to remember to do that, or we need to give the original to the client to file. And there's a small fee for that, but it's not significant. Car titles. So we have a reminder here that whoever ended up with the car, to make sure the title goes with the car. And we have, anytime you see this little I in the circle, that indicates there's more information. And you can just cursor over it and see that information. And I advise the client to have, if the title has been signed over to them, the car was not in their name, that they need to put the car into their name within 30 days. Because they don't want a car out there titled in their name that someone else might have an accident in. So it's important for them to do that. And there's a deadline. If you don't transfer it within a certain amount of time, they start fining you. And they don't send you notice they're fining you. It will be when you finally go to transfer the title. They'll tell you, oh, for every month you didn't do this, here's your nice lovely fine of $5 or however much it is. So people, this doesn't come up in everyday life, so they may not be aware. So you want to inform them that they need to get on with getting that transferred.